I made myself another thing. This time, it's kind of a healthy thing. Sacre bleu. I know, crazy, right? I usually don't... Well, that's not true. I was going to say I usually don't do things with veggies, but that is fundamentally not true. I cook a lot of vegetables. So I don't know what I was going to say there. But this recipe is a new recipe to me. It is a carrot soup with curry paste and peanut butter. So I have no idea how that's gonna be. But yeah, I blended it up, so if you can see. So I blended it, it's a nice color. I am filling up my freezer for winter time at this point, so you know, I might have a couple meals, but the rest of it's gonna go into the freezer for later. If there's a time that I can't cook or whatever, then I can just thaw it out. So let's see how this is. It's probably really hot still. Not bad. I could put more curry paste next time, because that's not, it's really subtle, but I'm hoping to eventually have like a curry peanutty thing. Perhaps that's the issue, is that it's a carrot soup versus a peanut soup. Maybe that's the issue there. But it's good. I don't want to say it's not good. And fairly cheap to make. And yeah, I'm sure you can adapt it easily, because like the wonderful things about soup is that you can always make different versions. You can always add more pepper or different spices or even different veggies. For instance, I'm thinking that maybe a potato in here with some ginger would probably taste really good. Now, I don't know about potatoes and peanut butter. That's a combo I haven't tried, I don't think. Let me know in the comments. Maybe you have tried it and you have an experience. Of course, I could just get curious and try it myself, but I want to know if you found something successful or not successful. I'm trying to chew it even though there's nothing to chew. So it's a long weekend here when I film this. I have lots of things that I should do, and I'm just taking a little break for us to have a meal together. It's hot and smoky, and usually I don't put on the air conditioning, but because I can't open the windows and it's quite muggy in my house, I tend to put the air conditioning on because it dries out the air as well as make it cooler. I'm fine with having my cooling towels and fans and whatever for the heat. And in fact, my main floor doesn't get very hot, but it's the muggy bit, it's the moist air that ends up being my demise. when it comes to that. So I find that this summer, because of all the smoke, I've had to use the air conditioning more, and I don't really like that. And also, pretty soon it's gonna start being my season again. Pretty soon it's going to cool off a little. I don't need it to be a lot cooler than now for me to start enjoying, but definitely having the nights be cooler is better for sleeping, and I'm looking forward to that, because when it's really hot, I mean, that's the thing about cooling towels. If you've ever had those, they're amazing. You wet them and they take your heat away from you as the moisture evaporates. And wearing those just before bed and having a fan on me brings down my temperature, so I'm almost shivering. But I find that I'm able to sleep through the night with that. But that's not the most preferable way to sleep. Usually you wake up a little bit because you're so cold and you remove the towels. So your sleep still gets broken up a little bit. In summer, or not summer, in fall and winter, I find that I sleep so much better. In springtime too. Springtime I sleep better too. Except for late spring, because it tends to warm up at that point. So pretty soon, it'll start being that. The other thing about it being so smoky is that I haven't really been going out and doing my things and going on long walks and whatever, and I find myself more and more stressed. I find myself in a lot of behavior patterns that I usually don't have. Now, I'm not saying this to be alarmist at all. I still have quite a good outlook, but I definitely feel like my clothes are fitting a little tighter. Like I'm a little bit more on edge. I'm a little bit less, enjoying the season, even though summer I usually don't enjoy at all. I'm even less enjoying it because of the fact that I can't go out. And I know that people are out and about. I've seen them. I've even seen some runners. And I don't think that's quite a good idea, but you do you. I just find that the last thing that I need is to have issues with my lungs. I have so many issues that the last thing that I need is that. So I don't know. I've gone out before with a mask on. If it's really smoky and whatever, I'll wear a mask no matter what. I don't mind that, but I wonder about the efficacy behind that. But at the same time, these were masks that we wore a lot during COVID. So I'm like, okay, so if it had any protection against viruses and water droplets and whatever, there has to be some protection in the fire particles. Even though I understand that it's the really small smoke particles that are the damaging ones. I figure that even if it only reduces particles by 20%, by 10%, by 15%, whatever, it's worth it. But as this is a season that I don't like anyway, it's hard to motivate myself to go and do more things. So that's me. What is it like where you are right now? Is it smoky? Is it, I know in South America and in Australia, you're dealing with a totally different weather system. And it's a different season even. I'm going to film what I read last month. And what I read last month, I had such a hard time after work because I do so much reading and writing at work that sometimes it's a hard sell to tell myself that I will also read for pleasure. Even though I do like a good story and I don't mind reading at all. I actually really enjoy that activity. But I find that after I have been reading and dissecting and whatever for my whole day, I have a hard time, I just have a hard time continuing that activity, even if it's on a different medium, even if I'm not looking at screens. So sometimes it's difficult. So because of that, I have some audiobooks that have been on the back burner or whatever, my TBR list for a long time. So I listened to some of those, so I will talk about those. But yeah, I don't have any physical books. It's all audiobooks this time. Do you find a difference between seasons and the types of books that you read? Do you find that summer is more of an audiobook versus winter is more of a physical book? I'm curious about that. I'm curious when it gets cooler if I'm going to feel more like cozying up and reading. When it gets cooler, it's ample time for almost everything for me. Like when it gets really hot, I don't want to crochet or knit or whatever. That seems like hot hobbies. So I don't want the atmosphere to also be hot. So there's that, but also I like cuddling up, so I'm more likely to get a warm beverage, cuddle up, and read a thing. The theory is this. I know that's the case for other hobbies. I'm thinking that might be the case for reading too. But let me know if you agree or not. I may have accidentally stayed up late just painting my paint by number and watching YouTube things and whatever. And when I say late, it was 1 a.m, so maybe early. I stayed up early. Anyway, I did that. So I might have woken up at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning. After this, I have some cookie dough that I had a craving for and bought yesterday with my groceries. And it says right on the packet, you can eat or bake. So I'm just eating it. But I don't need permission. I've had cookie dough ever since I was a little kid. And as far as I know, I've never gotten sick from cookie dough. I know that people can. I know that it's not preferable. I don't know if I've gotten heartier in that way because I've eaten so much raw cookie dough and cake dough and whatever. I don't know. But I have no fear when it comes to cookie dough. And I didn't want to make cookie dough. So I just went ahead and bought, I think it was Pillsbury. Anyway, I ended up buying like pre-made cookie dough type thing. And was just gonna have that. So I ate 6 cookies yesterday. I'll have the other 6 today. I'm looking forward to that. I had something that I was going to say and then I completely forgot. My mind went completely blank. No, it's not coming back. So I have no idea. What are you working on these days? I mean, what are you working on? Are you working on your own paint by number? Or do you have other crafts that you're working on right now too? I think right now is a great time because it's so smoky and you're stuck indoors, or at least I am, to put on some kind of horror movie and do some painting. Although I have a lot of things that I want to do. Like I won't clean the windows because it's so smoky out. But I should, and this is me shitting myself, I should, mop the floor and vacuum, and I did some dishes and some laundry earlier. I should do more laundry. That blasted laundry never gets done. And in fact, I do the laundry and then I just put piles of laundry on my dresser and go through those and hopefully wear those. So the piles will get smaller, but that's because I'm wearing the clothes. And then it's time to do laundry again and start the process again. It's a circle of life. And I'm thinking that today is not the day where I tackle that. I mean, yeah, I did do my bedding and change the linens on my bed. So I did that. I don't think I have sorting laundry in my wheelhouse today as well. Although the bed was yesterday. Was it yesterday or this morning? It was before I went to bed. So it was probably this morning that I got that done, because I did that right before I slept in it. It was glorious. Having fresh sheets and whatever is glorious. So. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. Okay. 1 second. I had a date idea, and so I wanted to share that with you. These aren't expensive, by the way. None of these packages are expensive. But I thought it would be fun to have random things, activities that I found that are within budget, wrap them up, and then my partner might have some that he finds, wraps them up, and then if we ever get together and we're like, what do we do? What do you want to do? You know, it's kind of one of those things where you can pick up one of these, and I wrapped these up as soon as I got them. So now I don't know what each of them even is. I'm like, I thought I knew, but then I'm like, now I have no idea. So anyway, and that's the fun, is you have like this dopamine awesomeness where there's a gift, and I love gifts. Well, I don't want to say, I do love giving gifts. I don't remember to get gifts. If there's like a birthday or holiday or whatever, I'm not gonna remember. I might remember, but I might not remember in a timely manner where I can go shopping. This is why a couple months before a birthday or Christmas or whatever, I'll get cards. Because then when I remember, then I already have the card, and I can just like write my little note in the card and then send that off. Because I usually have time enough to do that. If I don't have time enough, I'll send the person a text or whatever saying that my card's going to be late, but that I remembered. So this is my idea, and it's not my idea forever. I just thought it would be a fun thing to do, and I wanted to share it because maybe you're in that position, and also I can see myself doing this for me. Just getting random things, wrapping them up, and then having a bag of wrapped up things in my house. And then if I'm ever in a spot, and this is unusual, I usually have like 1.5 million things, but if I'm ever in a spot where it's like, you know, I really want to try something, then I have like this bag of random goodies that I can do. And I have so many thoughts in my brain, and the only thing is, when you wrap them up, you're not necessarily going to remember what they are. And so I'm thinking that I would make little, and I don't know how I'm going to do this yet, but little, pieces of paper or something that state open whenever, or this is a summertime thing, so you might want to open in summer, or something like that. Like, open if you're in the mood for adventure. Open if you're in the mood to stay in. That kind of thing. Because I don't mind that in my surprise. But because I have my own limitations when it comes to what I'm able to do every day, I might need to have that much of a heads up so that I can be like, I don't really feel like going out to do a thing. So maybe I won't open this one yet. Yeah, let me know if you've done anything like this and what you have indicated, if you've indicated anything. I only had this paper left, so that's why everything is in like this Pride Christmas situation. But I have nothing wrong with wrapping things in newspaper. I just didn't have newspaper. I didn't have any of that around. So yeah, I just thought it would be a great thing. And like I said, if my partner does a few as well, we can get like this pile going. And they're not expensive things. Like, I haven't, like, it doesn't need to be these big fancy whatevers. They just need to be a thing for us to do for a couple hours, or a game that we can play for maybe like 45 minutes or whatever. It doesn't have to be like an all day big shebang break the bank thing. And so I'm looking forward to being able to buy something on my next payday. I think that I can buy like a little something each pay, but I don't know. So let me know if this is something that interests you, or that you would like to do, or that you have done and you have any tips for me, because this was just something out of my noggin that I just started doing. So let me know what your experience has been. But anyway, I should get back to it. I just wanted to stop and have a little break with you and chit chat and see how this soup turned out and whatever. So whatever your day ends up being, in whatever state you are today, I hope you're having the best time. And I'm looking forward to talking to you later.